September 23, 2023, I packed my life into a suitcase and moved to Poland to pursue my master's degree. I even filmed that journey, leaving my island in Cebu, saying goodbye to my family, and stepping into the unknown. I started my new life in Bydgoszcz, and now, more than a year later, I'm still here, building a life in Warsaw. When I first arrived, everything felt unfamiliar. The weather, the language, the culture. I remember my first grocery run at Bydgoszcz, trying to register at school, opening a bank account, searching for an apartment. It was overwhelming, especially if you don't speak the language. But I wasn't completely alone. I came with other girls from my country, and our agency guided us through the first weeks. I stayed in Bydgoszcz for 6 months, and the people that I met there made those early days bearable. By March 2024, I made a decision to move to Warsaw in search of better opportunities. I didn't quit school, and I continued by distance learning. But finding my footing here wasn't instant. It took me 7 months to land my first job, and in the meantime, freelancing was my lifeline. That first year was a blur of adjusting, surviving, and traveling whenever I could. By October 2024, I finally landed my first job in Warsaw, but even then, nothing magically became easier. I was still studying, working hard to make ends meet, and finishing all my exams. Today, my life looks very different. I moved to a new apartment. I landed my first corporate job in a global company, working in marketing. I'll still live in a shared space, but I remind myself this is temporary. My priority now is building financial stability while growing my career in Warsaw. Soon, I'll graduate, and it feels surreal. A year ago, I thought I'd move back to the Philippines once I finish my master's. But life gave me an opportunity to stay and work in a career that I wanted to pursue. So I'm taking that chance. Living abroad has taught me so much. If I could sum it up, here are 5 things I've learned after more than a year in Poland. First, survival comes before everything else. My first year was survival mode, figuring out housing, money, school. Only now do I feel like I'm starting to thrive. Second, loneliness is real, but connection can be found. There were nights where I cried myself to sleep, especially when I lost 2 of my dogs back home and I couldn't be there for them. That pain doesn't go away, but it made me value every call with my family and every new friendship I've built here. Third, everything can be learned. Back home, I never really cook, but here, I had no choice. I learned how to prepare basic meals, do things I never thought I could, and take care of myself in ways I didn't expect. Living abroad forces you to grow in the most practical ways. Fourth, your space shapes your mindset. Living in a shared flat isn't ideal, but I've learned to make the best of my small corner. Someday I'll have my own space where I can call it my creative HQ, but for now, I remind myself this is just temporary. Fifth, mindset is everything. I overthink a lot, but these days, if I overthink, I try to overthink about the best case scenarios. It's about shifting perspective, and that's what kept me going on days when I felt like life is unbearable. And those are just some of my lessons. I'm sure we all have our own unique experiences living abroad. Share yours in a comment and let me know where you are now in your journey. This vlog is a little different, more of a life update and also a transition. Over the past months, I've shared all my backlog travel vlogs, and now it feels like I can finally close that chapter. From here, I want to take you with me into something more personal, my Life Abroad in Poland series. It's not just about the highlights but the everyday reality of living abroad, working, studying, trying to build stability, and chasing the kind of life I once only dreamed about. I'll also be sharing more about my work life and my journey writing my thesis and finishing my master's here in Poland. If there's a content you want me to share, let me know in the comments. For sure, I'll try to include it in this series. Again, thank you for being here and tuning in, and as always remind myself, padayon lang jud ta pirmi.